two killers in the same.
He beat Lomachenko, he beat, like, the stuff he done did in the sport is at a way different level than what Keyshawn has done so far. So, like how people kind of perceive it, they like, oh, he should be fighting Keyshawn, he should be, huh?
Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez heats up as tension builds around one of boxing's most talked about matchups. Starting things off, while giving his pick for Shakur versus Teofimo, Oscar Valdez revealed that after training with Shakur, he realized just how difficult he is to hit. Valdez called it a true 50-50 matchup, describing it as a high-level chess match where anything can happen and not one he'd bet on.
I fought Shakur, and he's a hard guy to hit. You know, it's it looks very simple, but it's not. But I've seen Teofimo train before. He's a complete athlete. So if I'm being very honest, man, it's a 50-50 fight. It's a stay away bet for me. I wouldn't bet either or because you never know what's gonna happen on that chess game because that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a chess game inside that ring.
Responding to questions about what comes next for the winner, Valdez suggested that Shakur isn't limited to his current weight class, noting his size and versatility could allow him to challenge opponents at even higher divisions comfortably.
You know, Shakur's he's big for that division. He's coming from 126, but I can easily see him go to 147 and still give people some problems. So,
moving on, Jimmy Lennon Jr. shared his take, saying he still sees the fight as a near 50-50 matchup, but noted that more people he speaks to are starting to lean towards Shakur as the tougher man to beat. He added that Teofimo is being viewed as a slight underdog, while stressing that it remains a high-level clash between two elite fighters in their prime.
I gotta tell you, I still think it's 50-50, but the more people I talk to about it do think that Shakur has the edge here, that he's gonna be tough to beat. So as I've been taking the temperature of the knowledge of the people that I know, they have Teofimo as a little bit of an underdog, but we'll see. It's another great fight between two really leaders in their weight division and pound-for-pound greats.
Now the focus shifts to Shakur Stevenson and his camp, which looks fully locked in and confident, with everything pointing in the right direction. With Keyshawn Davis right there alongside him, the energy feels strong, and the morale across the team is clearly high.
I promise you, none of these niggas are gonna beat me. None of them. I'm gonna make an example out of Teo. That's the only thing I love.
Now, when asked about why he chose to fight Teofimo Lopez, Shakur kept it real, saying he already knows how good Teofimo is from their amateur days, and picked this fight specifically to challenge himself and push his game to a higher level.
I mean, they absolutely right to have their opinion. I already know this guy's good. I done came up in the amateurs with him. I chose this for that reason. Like, I chose this because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to put myself in a situation to where I'm able to raise my game up to another level. So that was my whole purpose. But do I gotta be dominant? I think every fight that I set up, I want to be dominant. I don't care who in front of me. I want to dominate. I want to beat you to where judges don't feel like they can rob me. So I always got that feeling. I always got that chip on my shoulder.
If you do win this fight, what do you think it does for your career?
I think it put me top 5 pound for pound. I think it puts me like one of the best fighters in my era.
Shakur has made it clear he respects Lopez's abilities, even noting that Teofimo is a far more complete and dangerous fighter than Conor Benn. In an earlier interview, Stevenson openly praised Lopez's power, timing, and high-level experience, emphasizing that this bout represents the toughest assignment available at lightweight and one he is taking extremely seriously.
Like, I know what I'm dealing with. I know, like I said, I don't know Teo since a kid, so I know that he's tough. I know that he's strong. He's fast. I know that his boxing IQ is very high. He's a good fighter, so you can't just say who's next, because even with me even talking about the Conor Benn situation, I say, oh, I'll fight Conor Benn next, but truthfully, I know that Teo is a better fighter than Conor Benn, so how I'm gonna look past somebody that's a better fighter to go fight a fighter that's the worst fighter. So
next, when asked about legacy talk around the fight, Shakur didn't hesitate, saying this is the matchup that puts him at the very top of the pound-for-pound list and proves just how great he really is.
Nah, it is. It's the fight that's gonna put me on that top of the pound for pound list, and I think that this fight is gonna tell everybody how good I am. Well, good. how great I am.
Next, he addressed why he isn't fighting Keyshawn, with Shakur saying it's not personal at all. He explained that Teofimo Lopez is simply the more established champion right now, with a resume and accomplishments that make this the right fight for where he's at.
Keyshawn my brother, but if you really like understand boxing and even the business of boxing, Keyshawn is going to be somewhere very far in the sport. But like as of right now, if you had Teo and you had Keyshawn on your table, Teo is a fucking well-established champion who done got belt after belt after belt, undisputed. Then went to 40 and did this. He beat Lomachenko. He beat, like, the stuff he done did in the sport is at a way different level than what Keyshawn has done so far. So, like how people kind of perceive it, they like, oh, he should be fighting Keyshawn. He should be, huh? Y'all just hating on me at this point. Y'all wanted me to fight Keyshawn because y'all know that that's somebody I'm really close with at this point, because that don't even make sense.
Coach Breadman views the matchup as perfectly balanced. He argues that Stevenson's footwork and counterpunching make him unusually hard to score against, while Lopez's pressure and aggression will force Shakur to respond under constant fire. Breadman suggests this is a genuine 50-50 contest and one of the most intriguing stylistic clashes of the year.
That's a great fight. Shakur is the truth and Teofimo is the truth. I would suspect that Shakur might be a slight favorite, but man, that's pretty much an even fight in my opinion. You know, Teofimo's biggest moments have come against Southpaws, Loma and Josh Taylor, and he's a guy that fights really, really well in these circumstances. You know, he has a little bit of a clutch thing about him where he will fight up to the guy that he's in front of. He doesn't handle boxers too well, but I can see Teofimo trying to make Shakur come to him.
British boxer Ben Whittaker echoed this, calling Teofimo one of the most athletic and unpredictable fighters at 135 pounds. Still, Whittaker gives a slight advantage to Stevenson, who he believes can control tempo and break opponents down through superior ring IQ. High-energy showdown when they meet on January 31st.
Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson.
I like both guys, honestly. I like both guys. Teofimo, he's funny, he's got character, but he's a great fighter. He's very athletic. He comes from awkward angles, and I do like his style, but I study boxing, I watch boxing, I do like Shakur's style. The way he breaks his opponents down, he slows it down to his pace, he's got good distance. If you got to pick someone, I'm going Shakur, but it's a great fight. They're both young, both in their prime, and it's the fights we need now.
Enter Blair Cobbs, who said he leans toward Shakur in the fight, highlighting his discipline and calm approach. Cobbs explained that Shakur boxes with patience and purpose, keeping things simple and clean without unnecessary extras.
More so lean towards Shakur. Yeah.
Tell me why.
Shakur is very disciplined. He's very disciplined. He's very strategic. He's very patient. And the way he boxes, he's very simple in his simplicity of how he executes. He does not have a whole lot of nonsense.
He added that when Teofimo loses focus, Shakur can take advantage by landing cleaner, steadier shots. Cobb said it wouldn't be about hurting him, just outworking him, while noting that Shakur moving up in weight still comes with challenges.
Teo gets caught lost, Teo tends to get caught lost in his mind sometimes. And sometimes he does things for no reason. If he does that consistently, which he will, Shakur will land more punches. And that's all it would be. It'd just be more punches. I wouldn't say that Shakur will hurt him. You know what I mean? But I think it'll just go like that. You know, Shakur is very small too. You know, and moving up in these weight classes can be problematic.
Zab Judah also described the matchup as highly competitive, warning fans to expect non-stop action, no easy rounds, and both fighters showing the absolute best versions of themselves.
You got two dog fighters that's coming in there to solidify themselves as the game changer. Teo's not gonna lay down. Shakur is not gonna lay down. It's gonna be skill versus skill. Teo's a very talented, skillful fighter. Shakur is a very extremely talented, skillful fighter. And yes, we're going to see a hell of a great chess match that night.
Coach Bernard "Bernie" Davis strongly supports Stevenson, giving him a 60-40 edge and stating that a win in this fight could put him firmly alongside names such as Devin Haney in the conversation of elite pound-for-pound talents. Meanwhile, Shakur's sparring partner DJ Zamora highlighted how composed and technically precise Stevenson is, though he admitted that the fight largely depends on what version of Teofimo shows up on fight night.
I say Shakur could be #1 based off, you know what I mean, how he can nullify you and how he can just win. You really can't put a, but far as entertainment value, far as putting I mean, Bam throws every punch in the book. He don't just rely on one punch. He throws everything, you know? So he does so many different facets that you could say pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? Far as a skill set, which is what a Crawford brings, which what a Floyd brings. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I can see him being pound for pound #1, you know?
On the other end, analyst Punch Drunk believes Teofimo has the tools to win. He emphasized Lopez's rare combination of speed, power, athleticism, and big fight experience. He predicts that the pressure and massive spotlight will bring out an even more dangerous version of Teofimo, one who thrives when the stakes are highest.
Hey man, I'm going to ask you something that we don't know, bro.
Talk to me, my brother.
Who you got?
The takeover. The takeover 2.0, man.
Do you have a reason for it, though?
Man, I think that experience, that's one. Speed, power, athleticism. We all know what's the narrative. That when he's facing a pound-for-pound fighter, an elite fighter, he shows up.
Okay,
so the lights are bright, New York City, Madison Square Garden. I think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight.
I like your reasoning, bro.
Adding to the discussion, Shane Mosley said the fight ultimately comes down to whose style takes control. He pointed to Shakur's calm, precise boxing against Teofimo's athleticism and movement, explaining that both have tools to disrupt the other, which is what makes the matchup so intriguing.
It's a style where which fighter can impose their will on the other, you know, which can impose their style on the other style. So Shakur Stevenson has a very strong style where he can sit back and pot shot you and box and stuff like that, where Teofimo can also box and is very athletic and can get from side to side and can make things difficult for you as well.
He added that the first round should give clues, but by the second or third one, fighter may edge ahead. Mosley said Shakur might need to show a different side, while Teofimo's movement could make things tricky, making it hard to call.
I think you're going to need a couple of rounds, but the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that, well, maybe, I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen or different type of fighting we haven't seen. And vice versa, you know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle that's kind of giving, you know, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see about that. So we just don't know.
Now, the focus shifts to Dalton Smith, who delivered a statement performance by stopping Subriel Matias with a 5th-round TKO. After the dominant win, Smith took to social media to celebrate the moment and thank the Sheffield crowd for their support. "Sheffield, we did it. Us Brits proved once again we have the best fans in the world." Later on, Dalton Smith was spotted celebrating with friends, singing and enjoying a few drinks, clearly embracing the moment and the energy of the night after his statement victory.
All right, champ, you earned it. You earned it. Hey.
Reacting after the fight, Eddie Hearn couldn't hide his excitement, saying no one had ever put Matias down like that before. He added that the performance turned Dalton Smith into a star on the spot and showed he can win world titles in style.
No one's done that to Matias. He's never been down before. He said to Dalton after, "I've never been hit like that before." You can win world titles, and you can win world titles that way. That has made him a superstar tonight, and he deserves it all. And it's only January the 10th, baby. Match on the wrong. Were you worried?
He added that the early rounds had him nervous, but once Dalton felt the power and stayed composed, the bodywork and timing took over. Hearn called the finish sensational and perfectly controlled.
I worried the whole fight. I mean, look, the first round was a beautiful round of boxing, right? Easy. The second, he might have nicked it, but it was getting close. Then all of a sudden, he's hey, fucking get in there! But then he's stopped boxing. He's having a war with him. But he said, I felt the power, I was comfortable in there, I felt like I could hurt him. He hit him with a body shot about 45 seconds before that really hurt him. And he took his time. He hit him with the first right hand that stunned him. But that was sensational. Sensational.
Eddie Hearn also took to X, praising the moment as special and hailing Dalton Smith as a newly born star after the statement win. One of the greatest moments I've ever been a part of. A star is born. Balls of steel. Dalton Smith, you did it, mate. World champion. Moreover, Adam Catterall reacted by praising Dalton Smith, saying he went overseas, faced a dangerous puncher, stood his ground, and flipped the script with elite skill and toughness, calling it a fearless, statement-making performance. Adam wrote, Dalton Smith bullied the bully. Traveled to America to face a murderous puncher who was allowed to fight despite failing a PED test, stood toe-to-toe, took everything he had and gave it him back X10. Big bollocks. Elite skill. Additionally, Coach Lenny, Richardson Hitchens' trainer, said he felt the stoppage was coming early, explaining that Dalton's strong start and heavy shots were clearly registering. He noted that once Matias was forced to fight back, it played right into Dalton's hands and ultimately led to the mistake that cost him the fight.
I mean, I saw the knockout coming real early. From the first round, Dalton came out real strong. He was hitting with some big shots. And then if you notice in the second round, Matias' hands started coming down because he wanted to get back. But that was a sign that the punches that Dalton was throwing was effective and it was registered. So now he's forced to fight back. And that's the mistake that he made.
Now Teddy Atlas also weighed in, praising Dalton Smith for carrying himself like a true champion under pressure and showing the composure needed when the fight reached its toughest moments. Teddy wrote a tweet, "You have to fight like a champion, and when the devil knocks at the door, you have to behave like one. Congrats to new champ D. Smith and Matias. Wow." Taking to X, Devin Haney weighed in on the outcome, congratulating Dalton Smith and stating that cheaters never win, a pointed message that added another layer to the post-fight reaction online. Devin wrote, "Cheaters never win. Congrats, Dalton." Now, Oscar Valdez stepped in with his reaction, saying he was genuinely impressed by Dalton Smith and didn't expect the fight to end so decisively. He explained that while Matias usually grows into fights, Dalton's style matched up perfectly and completely changed how the bout played out.
I'm impressed. I say Dalton Smith did his job. Honestly, I was not expecting that. I was expecting a tough fight because I've seen Dalton Smith fight before, and he's proved me wrong several times. But I did not think it was going to end the way it ended. You know, so my thing is, we're used to him starting off slow and then fast. But you know, fights are about styles. Dalton's style was perfect for this fight.
Meanwhile, Mauricio Sulaiman, the president of the WBC, celebrated the moment on X, calling Dalton Smith's rise a dream fulfilled and praising the journey it took to reach world champion status, while also congratulating his family and team for standing behind the achievement. Mauricio wrote, "An image that says thousands of words, a dream that becomes a reality, a journey overcoming unimaginable obstacles. Today, you are the WBC champion of the world. Congratulations, Dalton. May God bless you always, and congratulations to your dad, grandpa, nephew, O'Toole, Eddie, and all in Matchroom, of course." Furthermore, George Kambasos Jr. pointed out how special it is to win a world title on enemy turf, praising the performance and congratulating Dalton Smith on a huge statement-making moment in New York. Wow, cracking fight and win. There's nothing better than winning a world title in New York as an international away fighter. Love it. What a shot. Congrats. Shakur versus Teofimo continues to build serious tension, while Dalton Smith's statement win over Subriel Matias marks a major breakthrough on the world stage. With every curtain lifting, fans remain fully invested and eager for whatever comes next.